Hello and welcome to Kump.
Hello.
Hello, Lucy.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Just drinking some Red Bull.
Refreshing blueberry lemon seltzer.
Not yet. Crazy days. It's crazy days in the Twitterverses and the metaverses. Elon Musk is apparently they've approved the Twitter board has approved his offer.
The transfer of the sword.
I don't think he has it yet. I think he's supposed to buy the shares, the transfer of the sword.
Yeah.
Is that like a metaphor for something?
Yeah, I don't know. I just did like I felt like it was.
Do you think Elon Musk has a lot of swords?
It's a kingly metaphor.
Do you think he just gave like he's buying?
He's the king of free speech.
Is
now.
he buying Twitter with swords, like expensive, valuable swords, jeweled swords? The sword of King Richard Lionheart.
Oh, look, I'm sure that Elon Musk could afford a sword that would be a fair exchange for a company at least. Like
a $44 billion sword.
Yeah.
Is it Excalibur?
No, but like he could probably buy like, a small, I don't know, coffee shop or something with a fancy sword.
Well, look, yeah, I mean...
He could totally buy a sword worth like, $3 million.
Well, it's a far cry from a $44 billion company.
Well, you get a bunch of them.
To a little coffee shop. I mean, what kind of coffee shop are we talking about here? What kind of muffins do they serve? I mean, $3 million, that seems like a lot.
The coffee shop in my hometown used to be like my Twitter. It was like a tiny version of Twitter.
I hate the coffee shop in your hometown.
I know you do.
Where the old men predators just lurk. I don't like it.
But you would walk in there and all people...
And you get the scent of patchouli oil and rape.
But you'd walk in there and people would be saying a bunch of crazy shit and stuff. It'd be like a kind of a mini version of Twitter.
Yeah, like, how old are you? Oh, that's too old.
People would get into debates in there.
Yeah. Yeah, what about the age of consent? That's a predator's den if I've ever seen one. A lair that serves coffee. Mm. Welcome to your hometown, where the nightmares never stop. Anyway, but yeah, you think Elon Musk could buy that coffee shop with a jeweled sword?
Yeah, for easily.
Do you think when Elon Musk buys a company, he like cuts his hand, like in Game of Thrones or something, and he goes like, "This is our blood pact.
Yeah.
Here is the womb of the lamb." He's like, "Ugh!" And then just starts drinking his own blood, going, "This is sexual in nature. This is how I have sex. First there's blood, and there's money." And then comes the new freedom of speech. People are losing their minds. I mean, Elon Musk is talking a lot about, why do I have a keyboard in front of me with nothing to keyboard? Can you put this over to your side? It's driving me nuts, even though I didn't notice it for the first 5 minutes. I can't have extra things. I have too many drinks on the side here. I can't have keyboards. I'm smashing it. People are losing their mind. Thank you. People are losing their minds about the Twitter thing. So Elon Musk has talked about, I've heard these rumors. Excuse me. I don't know if they're true rumors, but apparently some of the things he wants to do is freedom of speech, whatever that means. I'm not saying like, well, you have freedom of speech, but you're just gonna say no. I'm all for freedom of speech. I think it is important.
Yeah.
And apparently people have been censored not just for hate speech. Apparently, I can't verify because I just don't know. I'm sorry that I'm not aware. I mean, I say wild stuff on Twitter, but it's all very farcical. I'm sure there is some censoring. I'm sure Twitter is woke.
But he hasn't gotten into the specifics of how he's going to bring back free speech to Twitter.
No, I don't believe he has. He's just talking about how important freedom of speech is, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know what that means when he says it.
Yeah.
I mean, Lex Friedman I saw was like, this is a great day for freedom of speech, and it's like, all right. We're allowed...
I mean, it's like...
We're allowed to call scuba divers who save children pedophiles. Yeah. That will be the freedom of speech we get.
And we're gonna be super free to do that, because if that guy says anything back to us, we will purge him from the site.
We will destroy his livelihood, because it's all we now.
Yeah.
It's a very collective, even though it's his money.
Yeah.
It's a we. We will call scuba divers pedophiles. Yeah. We will manipulate stock prices and asset prices willy-nilly and commit questionable pump and dump situations. We will promote Doge and then drop Doge and then promote it again.
This is all covered in the First Amendment, I believe.
It's all in the handbook.
Pump and dump Doge.
It's all in the handbook. It's all in the. Is there hair in my mouth?
I don't know.
Look at my mouth.
Open your mouth.
No, on my mouth.
Oh, on your.
I shaved and yeah.
There's hair on your mouth.
I'm eating hair right now.
Oh, there's loose hairs on your mouth.
Yeah, it's very, very disturbing. I'm gonna try to ignore it. I trimmed my beard and now there's hair somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm tasting hair.
There was a bunch of hair, just like a barbershop floor's worth of hair sitting on the back of your neck at one point.
Look, there's a process to which you cut hair for yourself. I know the pandemic for a lot of people may be over. Not for me when it comes to my hair. I trim my own hair and my own beard, and I do my own grooming because I'm a made man. Wait, what does that mean? I'm a made man. I'm a goddamn Italian mobster, and I don't let no one touch this hair. No, but I'm a self-made man. Is what I meant to say.
We can afford for you to get a haircut.
I can afford 5 haircuts.
Yeah, you could get a nice fade.
I don't want to fade. I don't want people to think that I'm trying to be some kind of rap producer from the 90s. Okay, I am just a man who enjoys cutting his own hair. I'm just I'm just yelling to silence the hair in my mouth that I can taste. Back to Twitter. So
Elon Musk. I don't think we've yet established, as we do whenever we bring up Elon Musk,
yes,
that he is an enemy of the show.
He is a declared enemy of the show, but I'm willing to play ball if he wants to give me some money. So I can be bought. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I can be co-opted for money. So let's talk.
Yeah.
That being said, I'm not a fan of his calling the scuba divers pedophiles. Yeah. And I'm not. And his whirlybird helicopter, they assume he has. I'm not. Yeah, whatever. I mean, I didn't get on the Doge movement. I didn't. I'm not a SpaceX boy, but I'm all for whatever freedom of speech means now, I guess. What do you what is the you know more about this than I do. Is the right being censored on Twitter?
I mean, I think that look, you could argue that people on the right, maybe at some point it became a barrage where they were getting kind of targeted because the people watching them were predicting that they were going to say something horrible. I think you could probably argue that some people on the right were maybe unfairly targeted, or they didn't really violate the standards. Or maybe people on the left, they let it go more often. It seems like more at first, it was definitely I think the intent of it was more you can't just launch a harassment campaign of someone. It's you can't just targetedly harass somebody.
Well, yeah, look, I think they get up to no good sometimes. Some of these people who but I don't. The leftists are also very edgy. They say edgy things and they say aggressive things and I looked at John Hinckley. He's released from prison last year, I guess, or this year. The man who shot Reagan and also Brady, because he's the Brady bill.
Yeah.
So this man who shot him for the love of Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
The absolute love of the girl who played the teenage prostitute in Taxi Driver. He had to have her, and he knew how to get her, and that's by shooting that son of a bitch Reagan, right? And so he came out, and he's got this music now.
Music?
Yeah, he's a musician. And he's going, I saw him post, he's like, oh, my redemption tour is what he calls it. And countless people on the Twitter were responding so in common that you would almost call it, has to be called hack. Because everyone's doing the same bit of, you have nothing to be redeemed for. You did the right thing. Hey, look, I'm not a fan.
Shooting a president.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Reagan. I think
me neither. But
he denied AIDS and did some bad, look, a lot of stuff. But I don't think John Hinckley was right to shoot him.
I think that shooting a president is objectively naughty. I think it's an objectively naughty thing to do.
It's a faux pas.
Yeah.
And so, and these people are just very openly going like, it's great that you shot a sitting president. And I just have to say that didn't seem to be censored. So I can see why people think it's a double standard.
Yeah, that probably shouldn't be allowed. Like cheerleading the attempted murder of a president, even if it happened it didn't even happen that long ago.
Well, it's kind of like how do you stop that?
Right.
I mean, they find ways to stop other things. And should you be censored from saying, I think it's good that you shot Reagan 40 years ago? Maybe not. Maybe it is. That's free speech. Like, it's not really a call to violence. It's you can argue it encourages new violence. But
look, I think
but it's just people like to act like the left is not calling for people to be hurt.
Look, yeah, I also think like these things that are kind of on the borderline, like whether it's coming from the left or the right, my feeling on it has always been like, look, feel free to try and test the boundaries of what these platforms will allow. I think people have.
I tweeted about covering my dad in gasoline today.
Right? Yeah, yeah. They don't know that you're not. They don't know that you're not serious.
They don't know me at all. I'm not verified.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just under the radar, just saying things about my dad. And they're fine with that.
Yeah.
Hitting people with hammers. I probably said something about that once. I'll hit you with a hammer. No one censors me.
Right.
So I don't. But yeah, like I've also seen people on the right get frisky. They get aggressive. they get they like to get confrontational. So I don't know. I think the left is good at playing possum.
Yeah.
And going, oh, stop. It's like the NBA. We've been watching the NBA. We watched Kevin Durant collapse in the playoffs 4 games in a row, swept by the Celtics. And this doesn't really apply to that series too much. But the NBA, you have plenty. I mean, I think we did see a couple plays where guys were just, flopping to the, pretend, when you watch the slow motion close up, it's like this guy's acting like, oh my God, I've been hit in the face. And, his face was 6 inches from the guy's elbow. But he still gets the call, and the left is good at that. I think they're good at flopping, and they're good at having. I think the left is good at separating too. Like the right embraces their crazies,
right?
While the leftists, we'll call them, the Democrats distance themselves from that. Now you can call that them having no integrity to their principles, perhaps, right? The Biden Democrats, That the fact that they don't embrace the leftists per se. Yeah. You can say that, well, they're just neoliberal shills. And maybe that's true. But they don't.
I don't think they gain anything from not embracing the crazy leftists.
Well, I think they gain that, the rich Democrats don't make a monster out of these people who want to tax them and want to have social change. The Democratic Party wants to play the dance and then go to France.
Yeah, but the right also seems...
You skipped right over that little rhyme I did.
Wait, sorry. What did you do?
I'm not going to do it again.
I'll watch it on the rewatch.
Yeah, you're going to be, wow. I'm a lyricist.
Yeah. But people on the I don't know, the establishment right or whatever are also better at kind of embracing the crazy people, but with a certain degree of plausible deniability. Yeah. Whereas Nancy Pelosi and stuff will just straight up attack the left's crazies.
What's what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They so I mean by distance them. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They don't just distance themselves by wearing popping their collar. Yeah. No, they say they write them off. They have this multi-tiered thing. So cynically, you could argue that. I don't know. Yeah. But look, Musk is gonna shake it up.
He's
like a bag of popcorn. and we're going to see what comes to the bottom.
I feel like there is this trend where like whenever there's like kind of a new, I don't know, regime, a new like new media regime.
What do you mean, like when Vietnam ended and the North took over?
Yeah, right. Yeah, imagine our social media platforms that way. Like
the
whatever.
fall of Saigon.
Whenever there's like a new, regime, the right kind of benefits from it for a little while because the draw of the new regime is always like, hey, you can say whatever you want here.
Right.
Right. But then usually.
Fuck my mother! Shit, cunt.
Yeah.
And they're like, wow.
Yeah.
That's not what we meant. You can't say that.
Yeah. Come over here. You can drop M-bombs. Like you could do anything.
Who's doing that?
What?
Did Facebook do that?
What? I mean, that's always the. I feel like that's always the insinuation.
Like Parler, right? Wasn't Parler like some app like that where you like it was started by like the right, like the guys who got kicked off Twitter?
Yeah, no, exactly.
But that's not.
But no,
I mean like a Twitter dream.
But my point is,
okay,
if those things survive, it's usually because they break that promise in some way.
Oh, right.
Like,
it's just not good for business to have all this like
like
racism or whatever.
Yeah,
or
to
like
have domestic terrorist groups forming on your platform, like.
I don't doubt that there's people being censored. I don't understand how it works. And I don't trust a lot of the people who talk about it the most. I don't deny that something's going on. Because, like Hollywood's left, Silicon Valley's like crazy left, like, or whatever they are, whatever you want to call it, tech left. Tech left is the thing. Left. Whatever that is. It's not exactly, Bernie Sanders. It's not exactly, Jesus washing the feet of the poor. But it's something. And it's like, if you want to call that, billionaires just kind of agreeing on some kind of new social hierarchy.
Yeah.
Left. I guess it's left. I don't know what that is. It's some kind of digital eugenics.
Yeah.
But Musk is going to shape the world in his image, and he's going to put an edit button on Twitter. So you can do that fun trick that people used to do on Facebook where they'll say something, benign, like, I like bagels. And then everyone likes it. And then you edit it to say, like, some racist thing, and everyone's like, but then you're still saying the racist thing, so, or whatever.
But even if Twitter does become, like, even if this, does become like the Sodom and Gomorrah, like if Twitter
which one, Sodom or Gomorrah?
Both at the same time, just tons of
was Sodom
anal.
What is Gomorrah?
I think they're both just
was Gomorrah another
anal
town?
paradises.
Okay, yeah. I always think about it but Sodom was the town, right? And then Gomorrah, but that's also with Lot and like the daughters trying to have sex with him, right? His daughters. Very controversial book. Should be more controversial.
Very weird. Yeah, they get him drunk so they can.
His daughters get the dad drunk. That sounds like a story that dad tells.
Yeah.
No, my daughter, they got me drunk. They're the ones who wanted it. I'm just Lot, sitting around. Hope my wife doesn't turn to salt. You know what I mean? Oh, my dog! They got me drunk. They gave me a PBR, a Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I just didn't know what I was doing.
Lot is like the Malcolm Gladwell of the Bible. Like,
I mean, I'm not a big fan of Malcolm, but how is that?
Remember that thing that Malcolm Gladwell said where he was talking about being on Epstein's plane? And he was like, all I could think was, who is this man and why am I on his plane?
Right, yeah. I mean, this is my beautiful wife. And the days go by and the water comes around. Why am I here on Epstein's plane? And the days go by. So if it's going to become Sodom and Gomorrah, you were saying? Yeah,
if it does become Sodom and Gomorrah, like, so what? Why are all these people freaking out about it? There aren't that many people on Twitter. Like,
there's got to be thousands. I would guess. But yeah, no.
I mean, relative to like the general,
it's kind of a cesspool anyway.
Yeah,
This is not like the Spartans marching on Athens,
right?
Going like, we're gonna burn your books, you dumb Athens. Socrates.
All the greatest relics of our culture destroyed.
Yeah. This is not the Visigoths.
Yeah.
Sacking Rome. This is like, this is some like a bunch of crazy people living in the sewer and a bunch of other crazy people coming and going, we're gonna shape up this sewer. Things are gonna change in this shit-filled sewer. pretty soon. And new sheriff's in town. You ain't gonna like it, but you're gonna take it. Welcome to Musk. They should change the name to Musk. Welcome to Musk.
Musk.
I mean, you haven't been on Twitter for a while.
No.
Yeah. You haven't been basking in the glory of Twitter like I have.
I don't like it. I don't like how other people are on it. I don't like how I am on it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you're the honestly like my image of Twitter now is perfect because you just show me your tweets.
Yeah.
So to me, Twitter is your tweets.
That's the way it should be for everyone.
And that's great.
I should be the lens through which everyone views social media.
Yeah.
More people getting on board. Remember to like and subscribe. I cannot implore enough how vital and necessary your likes and your subscribes are. If you don't like this video, no one's going to see it, and then you're the problem. All right? Do you want your children living in darkness? In eternal hell? Covered in gnats and smoky bugs? Do you want your children eating smoky bugs? Smoke-filled bugs burned at the stake like witches? Is that what you want? Like the damn thing and subscribe. There's an algorithm and you need to feed it. Or I will. I swear to God, I will. There's some guy burnt, speaking of, I didn't say it, but, some guy, speaking of that, some guy did self-immolate over the weekend. I think he was a Buddhist.
Oh, right, yeah.
I saw tweets, speaking of Twitter, I saw tweets going, some guy just set himself on fire in the Capitol. I don't know if it was at the Capitol building or just in D.C. Because it wasn't in the news. And people going, why isn't this being covered? Like, well, why should it? I can't think of a thing I respect less than some guy setting himself on fire.
You don't respect that?
No.
I feel like it's the kind of thing you would respect.
Look, when the first guy did it in Vietnam, which good job, you ended Vietnam. I don't think he did. I think many years passed before Vietnam ended. But he made the cover of the Rage Against the Machine album, so that's cool.
No, oh right, yeah, that man's statement's claim to fame.
Claim to fame, and it's public use, so you probably didn't have to pay for it.
Yeah, if anything, the U.S. government probably looked at that and was like, one down.
I mean, look, it's like it seems like a lazy protest, which I mean, that might strike you as odd, and I think setting yourself on fire is lazy. But look, it's strenuous. Well, it's strenuous. No, it's not strenuous. It hurts. You can be lazy and it still hurts. That's my point. So I don't know. I look, and what was he protesting? Climate change. I don't think that's moving the needle. I think you should have maybe just burned your arm. And then you're the guy, then you can talk about burning your, think of it this way. Matt Lauer, well, he's gone. But Katie Couric, is she around?
I think so.
Meredith Vieira?
Yeah.
On the Today Show. And
Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa. I thought she was out too.
Oh, maybe.
Who knows? Michael Strahan. Someone is Ryan Seacrest interviewing in the top of the morning, top of the 8 o'clock block, has on the Buddhist monk, which I assume he was. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Again, it wasn't on the news. So I heard someone said something about Buddhism. But it was like a Buddhist monk who set his arm on fire, and now he's here to talk about it. Now he's here to tell his tale and talk about climate change.
Oh, yeah. Then the guy comes on and his arm is all gnarled.
Ow! Ow! Oh, my arm, it hurts so bad.
Now, why did you set yourself on fire?
The climate is we're destroying it. It's gushing blood, metaphorically. But another metaphor is that I set my arm on fire. And it's burning. And then emissions. Get it?
Did you ever get treatment for your arm? Because it does seem very pussy.
I put some aloe on it. It doesn't seem to be helping.
Yeah, I don't think for a more than third degree burn, aloe is going to do the trick.
It's very wet.
Is this a statement, too, that you're just leaving the arm
I don't have
wet
insurance.
and mangled?
No, I don't have insurance. Can I work? Can you give me insurance? Since I'm on the show?
We really only give insurance to full-time staff.
Am I staff because I'm being part of the show right now?
No.
This really hurts.
You're more like a non-employee entity,
I wish that wasn't the case because my arm hurts like shit. It hurts like shit. But yeah, please stop. I don't. What are we supposed to do? Not use engines? I mean, I'm not trying to trivialize it. I just don't. I don't know what the like. There's people saying a lot. Apparently, the climate's in like dire straits. They're saying if we don't stop in the next 9 months, which again I've said before, relatively recently on the show. I'd like that to happen, but we know that's like it doesn't seem like we're going to do anything about it.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
that
so
being
if we
said,
don't stop using everything in the next 9 months.
well, I don't think. Look, you're trivializing it. You're trivializing the burned man. There are steps we can take. I just don't know what they are, which probably makes me dumb because I'm sure there's a lot of scientists saying the steps, and I just don't remember them.
Haven't most of the scientists started saying, like, even like years ago, that like there's nothing we can do at this point?
Well,
like,
as the children would say,
yeah,
the older children, maybe not the Zoomers.
yeah.
There's levels to this. I assume. Maybe not. Maybe there's not levels to it. Maybe we're just done. But so I'm sure there's stuff we could do, moves we can make, grooves we could shuffle. That being said, I don't know what they are because I'm an ignorant man who lives a selfish life. But I would love to, not be able to look Greta Thunberg in the eyes and not feel shame. So I don't know. I mean,
that is true that it's like the most, literally the most environmentally friendly thing we've done in the past years is get a Keurig, which is
counterintuitive because they're very bad for the environment.
Notoriously bad for the environment. But we were being even worse.
Yes. Somehow we were we were wasting the gas on the scooters, bringing us the coffee.
Yeah.
We were. The guy was probably farting the whole time. That's bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like he's dead now. He's still around farting somewhere. But I don't know how to solve it. Use more toothpaste or use less toothpaste. Have less abortions.
Do abortions cause?
Abortions cause climate change? That's a great question. That can be the clip. I'm referring to the clip as it goes. Do abortions cause climate change? I mean, you gotta imagine that machine that they use for abortions is not the most climate friendly.
That machine. I think they use multiple machines. I mean,
well, if there's 3 machines, then it's a problem times 3. I imagine.
Does the bed count as a machine?
It's a contraption.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I mean, like
maybe they only use one machine.
What do they do with the fetus? Is that just going in the trash?
I think at this point in time, they are. Well,
you don't know, do you? And you're claiming it's not bad for the environment.
Project Veritas claims they're recycled.
Really?
But
into what, like dog food?
Yeah, I don't know.
You heard it here first. Climate change is caused by abortion and baby dog food. I guess they're not babies though. The right? That sounds. It's not politically correct to call them the fetus matter. The fetus matter is dog food, but they're not babies because that'd be a person, right?
I mean, maybe at a certain point they're babies or could have been babies. I don't know.
I don't know how life works. I don't know how a life is brought into the world. All I know is come and then it forms into something. It might as well be Play-Doh and saline.
Look, if it comes out and it looks like a baby, I'm not necessarily against people saying that's a baby.
Right.
It's like, but it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Comes out of what?
What it comes out of the abortion.
Okay.
Just,
so if you see something that looks like a dead baby, you'll call us.
Yeah, I'm not against people viscerally just being like, that's a baby. It's just like, but this shit has been going on since ancient Mesopotamia. So what are you going to do?
Abortions?
Yeah. Women used to stuff like clay matter up their pussies and it would like terminate the pregnancy.
You think at first it was just sexual and then they realized the baby died?
Oh, maybe.
And it was like, oh no. But then someone else was like, well, I got an idea.
Yeah.
I'm onto something.
They were having one of those mood swings where pregnant women get really horny.
Yeah.
And
maybe his clay will be like a dick.
Yeah.
She made a big clay dick and then tried to fuck herself with it. Because her husband was bowling.
You heard it here first. The first ever abortion was a byproduct of hardcore masturbation.
Yeah, big clay dildo.
With a big clay dildo.
Yeah. But from that, from strenuation comes innovation, right? Perspiration. Invention is 99% luck and 2% dildos. Something like that. Thomas Edison said that, right? Anyway, it's enough of Twitter, I guess. You were mentioning basketball, and this. You're getting into it. You started to root for the Celtics. You like Jaylen Brown.
I love Jaylen Brown.
And then
now.
the next game, you were rooting for the Nets. Mm-hmm. And I brought this up. And your response was that, now the Nets are down, so I'm going to root for them. You're not even it's not even a game-to-game thing with you, is my point. You seem to root for underdogs based on the score of the game.
At any given moment.
From play to play.
Yeah.
Which...
At one point we were watching and I think that Brooklyn, I think the Celtics were down by 2 points and you were trying to convince me to root for the Celtics. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll root for the Celtics.
Well, I'm not a fan of Kevin Durant, all right? The guy argues with 12-year-olds on Twitter using burner accounts. And, he went to Golden State. I wasn't a fan of that move. And then, whatever. There's reasons I have. I know we live in Brooklyn and they're a Brooklyn team. But also I'm a Knicks fan. So it's like you think you can be a Yankees fan and a Mets fan at the same time. And you can't.
I gotta say, the fact that he makes burner accounts and shit talks kids who are shit talking him
right.
Actually makes him more human to me. It makes me want to root for him more.
It just makes him like a petty guy. He's not more human. He's supernaturally talented and a physical, gifted freak of nature, but in a good way.
Yeah, but somehow he's mysteriously lacking confidence, and I feel like if he won another championship,
but that's not how heroes work. Heroes aren't the hero cycle doesn't work where it's like a man is given the test of the what is it the challenge? What how does it go? The hero cycle.
Oh, the call to
action, and he just kind of pouts and weasels his way around. I go, well, that's someone to look up to. No, if we were a bigger show, he'd come at me and go, well, you don't know how to play basketball. Well, that's not the point. Charles Barkley last night was just critiquing. The guy got swept. He's one of the best players in the world. He got swept in the first round of the playoffs, and Charles Barkley's, talking about it. And it wasn't probably pretty kind, but I don't think he was out of line. And today he's just on Instagram posting an old picture of Charles Barkley on the Rockets with Akeem Olajuwon and I forget who else, and it's going oh, where were you without your boys? And it's what? We didn't win 2 titles with Steph Curry. So what's your point? He's got no titles. He went, what are you doing? You just got swept and you're still clapping back. This is not a hero move. Doesn't make you evil, but I just don't want to root for him. Anyway, yeah. but you decide. That,
but you're trying to convince me to root for the Celtics or whatever. And I'm kind of I feel a little bit guilty rooting for the Celtics when the Nets are in it, even though I don't watch basketball because I'm they're Brooklyn.
Not a lick of basketball do you watch?
What?
Not a lick.
Not a lick. And but I'm well, it's they're playing a mile away from us. I should root for them.
Doesn't matter.
But you convince me, and I comfort myself by going well, I guess they're the underdogs now anyway. And
the Knicks.
The Celtics.
So how are the Celtics the underdogs?
Because they were down by 2 points.
Right, at some point in the game, and which is baffling me. Your sense of propriety and fairness and equity is just it's like America was the underdog in Iraq because an IED went off one time. Oh, we're the underdogs now.
Oh, we're the underdogs now. I just like the idea of an underdog in sports.
Not everything's underdog. A lot of it's about a big thing in sports is not flipping back and forth all the time. If you really want to get down to this idea of underdog, it's it's something you latch onto at first. But I've tried to tell you because I've gone many years of my life not really being into sports, and I got into basketball and stuff. It's important that you pick a team. You can't just go for the underdog. It's not exciting.
Can I say something though? You should really try it my way sometime.
I have. It was unfruitful.
Because it's incredibly manic and I think more exciting.
Doesn't lead to... But if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't watch basketball. Because you haven't built any kind of excitement. Because you're not happy when anything happens. You're just yes, you're ahead. Now I want you to lose. When someone makes a great play, I didn't want them to lose. It's a schizophrenic way to live.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Twitter, by the way, And we're back. We're going to hop back. I forgot to mention this. Their stock price dropped like 12% today.
Twitter did?
No, Tesla.
Oh.
Tesla. Because the people, I think he kind of used some of his Tesla stock, or there's some kind of thing where it's like, if the Tesla stock drops 40%, then he has to repay the loan or something for that he's financing the Twitter with. And so people are freaking out, I think, over that. And so, I mean, what happens if both things collapse? What happens if he loses, if Tesla goes down to like,
honestly, it would be so fun to watch Elon Musk go broke. It would be really fun.
I don't think he'll go broke, but how low do you think he could? Like right now, his value is what, 300 billion?
Yeah.
Something like that. If he goes down to 10 billion, that's still a pretty
steep.
Which I don't think he would, right? Because people do buy Teslas, right?
Yeah.
Look, here's the X factor. Who knows what's going to happen when they start? I mean, I don't know. Are they using the self-driving cars yet?
I think that they've murdered a bunch of people with self-driving cars.
We don't know that. You can allege that. People have accused them of that, but we don't know that.
Look, we don't know it, but it is.
And murder seems, strenuous. I mean, look, no one really, I mean, this show is not well watched, but we're trying to make that. I don't want this to, once this show pops up, we start getting litigation because you're accusing the richest man in the world of murder.
I didn't mean to say that.
It's fine.
But a bunch of people have died driving the self-driving cars in the way they have been advertised to work.
Right. So I'm saying, look, there's an X factor there. Where like that's one way, perhaps, it could shift the market. So I don't know. My point is, it seems like a solid buy. I was thinking about buying some Tesla stock because it was like it's down.
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe I should buy some.
Yeah.
And I'm a coward. But so who knows? It'd be interesting if buying Tesla somehow brings down Tesla. I don't think it will, but it might. That's what's fun about it. These are the things you have fun with. Why don't you? I mean, would you like to see Elon Musk become the underdog?
Well, if he did become the underdog, I would definitely root for him.
Right.
But
but what if, as the underdog, he wanted to his underdog plan was to leak chemicals into the water to get revenge for losing all his money.
Elon Musk becomes the Mad Hatter.
The Mad Hatter? Is that from Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, I'm trying. No, from the Batman.
Batman. Was he a big water guy? You're thinking of Scarecrow.
Oh, right. He puts the fear toxin
in the movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah, but I feel like it's something the Mad Hatter could do too.
Not that familiar. I mean, I've seen some stuff with the Mad Hatter. That doesn't seem to be his thing.
I was just trying to do a more obscure reach. I didn't want to say Elon Musk becomes the Joker because
it's sometimes meat and potatoes is the right way to go. All right. These are some stories that Lucy has searched through the newsverse, right? Not the Twitterverse, but some kind of other news venues, and you brought to us. And so I'm going to rely on you to fill in some of the narrative gaps. A California man arrested for threatening Merriam-Webster. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so Merriam-Webster.
Merriam-Webster.
Miriam?
Yeah, Miriam. You think it's Merriam-Webster? It's Merriam-Webster.
I thought when it was a double R, it was pronounced like Merriam.
But it's M-I-R.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Merriam-Webster. What is this? We're off the rails already.
Merry Women of Windsor Webster.
Jean-Luc Besson Webster. Go on.
This guy was threatening. Well, it's like I never understand the exact lines of a threat, but like, what counts as a threat, what doesn't count as a threat.
I'm gonna kill you, bitch. Yeah. That seems like a threat.
Yeah. But it was one of those things where it's like, I hope this happens. Right. Not like I'm gonna do it on this date and time. But he was like, because, so Merriam-Webster included all this like gender inclusive language in the dictionary, basically.
Like what? Like them?
Yeah.
And they? But
yeah,
were they already words?
Well, yeah, but I guess they gave them maybe different definitions or something.
Or they include all the Zer stuff?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what gender inclusive language they included.
Does anyone use the zer and the zay? I mean, I know it's a thing, but like I really never encountered the zers and the zays.
In real life, I've never encountered the zers.
Yeah.
I think the zers might be a myth, like the grays or the whites.
I think they were floating it, honestly, and they realized the pushback, and like they pretended like you're a bigot, but like people don't like the zer shit.
Yeah.
Cut it out.
It's easier to sell a word that's already in there. And
Just say they or that, and then I saw some people complaining recently, like, well, don't just assume they say. Some people just say they, them, and like, I don't want them to use they, them, but they assume that because I'm non-binary, and it's like, take the time to learn the right pronoun. And it's like, look, I mean, if they know you, they should. I guess if it's your if it's your friend, but
if
like
it's your grandma.
But if it's someone who's just trying to get by and like just make it a retirement, just why don't you relax?
Yeah, someone who's like serving up your burger at McDonald's or whatever. Like,
they asked for this. Man, why'd you give them this? Well, they asked for extra ketchup. And you go, don't just assume I'm a they, you fucking bigot.
Piece of shit.
I'm a her.
Yeah.
Even though I'm non-binary, I'm still a her.
Right.
So can you fire this man? Look at this man. What do you make an hour? $8? Can you stop paying on $8 an hour? Get him out of here. But anyway.
But yeah, this person, if they do exist, they never leave their house. Like it's like
deserves.
Deserves.
It's maybe you play The Sims.
When I imagine a zer, I imagine a person very similar to an incel. Like it's like
interesting.
It's like you think they're gonna launch this revolution that's gonna affect your life in some horrible way.
And Jordan Peterson's gonna be down to the cross.
Yeah, but like it's they just end up
not existing.
But
anyway, so the man was so enraged by Merriam-Webster. Say it with me. Merriam-Webster. That he, what did he do?
That he wrote this letter basically saying like, I hope, it was that kind of language, right?
Yeah.
Like if somebody came into your offices and shot everybody in your office, that would be great. That would be justice in my view.
Okay, so just coward.
So yeah, it was like a threat, but yeah.
I hope no. If someone was to actually do something and have a spot, wait, did he actually shoot people?
Have a spot.
Did he just threaten people? He didn't shoot them.
No, I don't think he ended up shooting.
It'd be a really terrible thing if someone actually stood up for themselves. But I won't. Imagine if someone did though. Imagine that. Imagine that.
Yeah.
So this is a news story. So some guy writes this like cowardly letter.
Yeah.
Like trying to inspire a shooter.
Right.
And like the news is running with it.
You know what? That's a good point because it's like this guy is clearly a coward who would never do anything.
Well, let's not like,
I mean, not that it's like brave.
Lucy's trying to get him to do something.
Not that it's brave to shoot up a dictionary office.
It's not brave. I mean,
but like
again, it's not like you're attacking a bunch of soldiers,
right.
which is also not. I mean, I'm not trying to encourage that either.
Yeah.
What can we say that isn't wrong?
But it's like it is kind of like the news is trying to be like, look at this guy, huh? Yeah. He wants someone to do something.
Imagine if he did that.
Imagine that.
I mean, wasn't there a guy who flew his plane into the IRS building? Or one of the IRS buildings?
There was?
Yeah, like years back. I don't know.
What, like his personal plane?
Like a small plane, yeah. It wasn't a 9/11.
Are we sure that wasn't an accident? I hear those things crash a lot.
They crash, but not usually into the IRS building. Yeah. After the guy said how much he hates the IRS.
Imagine if the guy was just tweeting, I fucking hate the IRS, and he just lost control of his plane, and it just randomly flew into the IRS building.
This is fate! Right, so Merriam-Webster, they're not dead, apparently. They're alive, is what you're saying.
No, yeah, I think the people are alive.
Interesting. Okay, well, good look.
It's just a pulse check on how,
is it though?
On how certain people are going a little crazy over this stuff.
Sure.
I mean, I don't think it helps that, like...
But then again, John Hinckley shot Reagan like 40 years ago. People be crazy.
People be crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. Though I don't think it necessarily helps that, like, a bunch of people are, like... very spuriously conflating child molesters with like people who talk about being gay.
Look, it doesn't help. Look, here's where,
like,
it's an interesting question where, like, look, there's crazy out there. Now, again, from a purely tribal point of view, whatever, like, if you're gay and, you know, it's bad either way. Because, like, you know, but cause my point is this. Is it creating violent, whatever, threats, or is it just redirecting them? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you really pumped up how crazy postal workers were, or how much of a threat postal workers were, would this guy also threaten them? Or you like, which, like, again, if you're gay, and you're part of that group of people who, you know, and now you're getting the threats from the crazy people, still, either way, it's not good, because, you know, you'd rather the postal guys get it. That being said, are we creating more net crazy, or is it just a matter of, like, distributing the crazy?
Oh, I think it's definitely what it's being aimed at.
Right.
I think there's a lot of fucking, like, I think there's probably more crazy people than average right now, because isolation tends to do that to people.
People used to have pet rocks, so I don't know. But maybe you're right.
You know, I think people are a little on edge.
Yeah.
You know, and you're redirecting that at, like, you know, a fake cabal of pedophiles.
Sure.
That are really just people who at most are a little, like, overeducated in the contemporary colleges and just talk about gender identity a little bit too much. You know, more than kids need them to.
I've seen some of these videos, and, like, there's definitely outliers who are, like, or I assume they're outliers who, like, are a problem. I don't mean in the sense we should have, like, crazy people go after them, but, like, I mean, I don't support the Don't Say Gay bill, but I've seen some of these videos, like, you know, I guess I don't follow libs of TikTok, but maybe it's on these guys. But some of these people, you really can't spin it where you're not, like, some of these teachers are like, yeah, you shouldn't be doing this.
I feel like most of
them are just like, you know, I want to be able to tell my, you know, students I paddleboard with my husband and I'm gay. And it's like, that seems like fine. Like, you know, it seems like a boring story, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
he literally was like, I was on paddleboarding.
I feel like
I gotta tell these kids I paddleboarded.
Most of the outliers are people who it's like, I'm not concerned about this person, and I don't think anyone is sincerely concerned about this person molesting a child.
No,
it's more like it's a little much.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely don't subscribe to their grooming anyone.
Yeah.
I mean, look, that's the thing.
The grooming rhetoric being applied to this is great for pedophiles.
Oh, for sure.
Being able to having that term dulled,
right?
Amazing.
Is amazing.
For pedophiles.
And here's the thing: even if you want to show it in the worst light possible, like, it's still not. You could argue it's like at worst it's brainwashing, or like indoctrinating into this, like, progressive woke, whatever, you know, ideology you want to say. But, like, the idea of grooming them to fuck them, it's like, that's just it ruins any validity you had in your point.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, that if you did have, I'm not really getting into the hot potato of this. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
What was I saying? I had a good point. Something about paddleboarding. Look, tell the kids you paddleboarded with your husband and that you're gay. It's fine. I'm fine with that. But don't show them how to, like, you know, do how you know, remove warts from your dick. That's it. And again, I'm not saying someone did that, but, like, but that would be a clear boundary not to do, right? Like,
don't put prosthetic warts on a kid's dick,
right? And
then be like, you know, we're gonna, and then have him pick them off. Seems
like a reasonable line, and that's exactly where I draw the line. if you're curious. So the Webster's, you know, is Webster going out of business? Are they calling it quits? Because of this attack?
They folded.
Imaginary attack?
Yeah.
This is weird. I have to look this up because I didn't put the details, but there was some Air Force general, and I believe he was the first general convicted for sexual something because he forced a kiss on his sister-in-law, I think it was. Which just seems like a very strange. It's got to be embarrassing.
Forced a kiss?
I mean, imagine forcing a kiss on someone so bad that you're the first general convicted. I mean, they must have really not liked this kiss. I'm going to see if I can find this story real quick. It's my history. Mother stabs to death pit bull. We can talk about that later. It's time to have a conversation about James Harden. I fully agree. The cast of Who's the Boss? Where are they now? Afghanistan. Let's see. William Michelle, Michael Cohen. Where is this general? Musk gets Twitter. I guess I'm clicking on every link. No father wants to sell his son's kidney. I don't know if I co-sign that statement. By the way.
No father wants to sell his son's kidney.
Afghans push to desperate measures to survive. I mean, how much are you offering?
Yeah.
Because I give that kid a better life. Look, how much are you going to offer me for this kidney? Give me an extravagant number.
$1 billion.
I'm sure I could buy him another kidney if need be for like $10 million.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me the kidney. Take it.
Yeah. And even worst case scenario, you can't find another kidney.
He dies.
He does?
Well, I guess he has a dialysis permanently or something.
Oh, yeah, that's no good.
But
yeah,
for
you buy him another kidney.
No, for $1 billion, you build him a robot dialysis thing. Like, like he's Krang from Ninja Turtles. Historic court-martial. Okay, here we go. Ends with the first conviction of an Air Force general. An historic trial within the ranks of the U.S. military has ended with the first ever conviction of an Air Force general in a court-martial. Major General William T. Cooley was found guilty on Saturday of abusive sexual contact for forcibly kissing his sister-in-law after a barbecue in 2018. Look, I'm not trying to minimize it, but imagine that's what you did. You not only is your career ruined as an Air Force man,
yeah,
but you're an historic case of a general being convicted because you planted one on your sister-in-law after a fucking barbecue.
Yeah.
Where you had one too many margaritas. I'm assuming.
Wait, what do you think this kiss was?
Let's see. She testified that in the car, Cooley said he fantasized about having sex with her. All right, well, that's already a lot. I mean, look, you just plan to kiss on her if you're going to do it. Look, don't do it at all. Don't do it at all. But, like...
This is probably kind of a sloppy kiss.
Well, after fantasized about having sex with her and pinned her against the driver's side door, kissing her and touching her breast and groin. Well, look, that's not a kiss!
That's not a forcible kiss.
These headlines are all terrible. You're grabbing a pussy. That's not a kiss anymore. Now you're grabbing a pussy.
Yeah, we're now referring to attempted rape as no kisses.
Right. This man just got a little loose, a little loopy, and went in for a sloppy wet one. And by wet one, I mean forcible penetration. Digital penetration of the pussy. He gave her a kiss. These journalists complain about, like, whatever, the Trump era, this, that, fake news, Russian bots. They can't help themselves from these salacious leads.
Yeah.
He kissed her. He grabbed her cunt.
Yeah.
The kiss is like, third degree. He grabbed her cunt, touched her tit.
Yeah. Yeah, he gave her a yucky kiss that resulted in her bleeding from several orifices.
After the kiss, she had severe scarring of the labia. Her cervix was bifurcated, bleeding from the ass. After an unwanted kiss after a barbecue. Jesus. I mean, do I respect journalists? In theory, only. They're really bad. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Would Dexter Filkins ever say stuff like this? Remember Dexter Filkins? The New York Times, back in the Iraq War days. I'm not saying he wasn't like a pro-war. I don't know if he's a pro-war. He always came. I used to watch him on Charlie Rose, Dexter Filkins. And he always came off to me like a measured, old school kind of war journalist. I can't imagine him burying the notion of digital grabbing, or not digital grabbing, because the finger pussy grabbing, and with a lead like he gave her a kiss. That's not the Dexter Filkins I know. I believe he would write that story better. I think the journalists just suck now for the most part. They're crazy people. Who else would get into this field nowadays? Yes, the world let journalists down, but then So therefore, the only people who become journalists are the worst people, maybe. It's kind of a weird cycle.
Who is like the psycho editor who was reading this story and was like literally reading like the details of a rape and went like, wait a minute. He did kisses on her?
What's the movie where like those guys are in a bar and like they put that woman on top of a pinball table and they kiss her? With the accused? Do you remember that scene, Deliverance, where that guy kisses that baby? Is there another famous one? Remember that scene where John Travolta kisses that girl and says, now you're a whore? What's some other? Are there other famous ones? Remember when Marlon Brando shoves that butter in that woman's ass and then kisses her? Wait, does that work? Does that work?
Yeah. Once Upon a Time in America, where Robert De Niro raped.
De Niro's still raped.
I lost the bit.
Look, did that good movie?
Robert De Niro kisses that girl in the limo.
He rapes a girl in the limo?
Yeah.
I kind of forget that. Yeah. I didn't like that movie. Is it good? I saw it a long time ago. Should I rewatch it? Once Upon a Time in America. I like Sergio Leone. You know, he did the Once Upon a Time he did Once Upon a Time in the West. He did the Fistful of Dollars, Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Did you know it was the same director?
As Once Upon a Time in America?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a spaghetti western turned. Were they supposed to be Jewish gangsters?
Oh, maybe.
I think they are that movie. James Woods is in that. It might be. I should rewatch it, but I remember it being very bad. Tell me what you think.
I've only seen the limo rape scene.
Oh, why did you say so? You're sitting there blanking, and I'm like...
Somebody was like, this is like, you know, it was like one of those things where it was like, somebody was telling me about the movie, and they were like, yeah, like, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know if it was that great. Like, but they were telling me, like, there was this brutal rape scene in it. And so I was like, weirdly, I'll check out this brutal rape scene and see if I want to see the rest of the movie.
Was it a brutal rape? Was it that brutal?
It wasn't, you know, it definitely didn't seem pleasant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, can you name a rape scene that seems pleasant? I mean, I didn't think that was the bar. I'm saying as far as rape scenes go, was it particularly brutal?
No, and as far as rape, I mean, I've seen more brutal.
Season of the Rape was fine. But no, okay. But yeah, so kind of a mediocre rape scene.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Right.
Maybe we'll watch it sometime. It's a long movie.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in a Kiss. Is that what Kiss Kiss Bang Bang's about? First you get the kiss kiss, then you get the bang bang. I never saw that movie either. That was with Gina Davis, I think.
I saw Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should watch it. I remember it being good.
That's Shane Black. I think it's a Shane Black movie. I could be wrong about that. Whatever. Doesn't matter. So, you know. So that's cool. I don't know what we've been talking about, but it seemed fun, right?
Yeah.
I think everyone had a great time, and we enjoyed ourselves. We learned something new.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say before we head out? Anything to promote? Anything to talk about?
I don't think so.
Make sure you like and subscribe.
Hey, subscribe to the Patreon.
And more importantly, or as importantly, whatever. If you like this show, which I know a lot of you do, we have a Patreon. And what you get with the Patreon, you get an extra episode every week for only $5 a month. I think it's a pretty good deal if you like the show. If you hated the show, it wouldn't be a great deal. And I'm not telling you to, but if you like the show, it's a pretty good deal. So the link's in the description. You can check that out if you like. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Have a great week.